So, have you ever wondered what is best position for handpan? Is it like this or like this? Today we find out! First of all, to make sure we're on the same page, here's a quick recap of my notation system. The lowest note after the center tone I call 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 in the center. The two most prominent positions you'll see most people playing in is what I call position 1 and position 1, 2. Each position has its own strengths, and depending upon your body and how you play, you may find that you use one more than the other. It really is a personal preference. I'll go through and share my thoughts on each one now. So position 1 is when you take tone field 1 and you put it directly in front of your belly button, right in front of you. And there's a lot of advantages to this position. I particularly like it because it keeps these notes equidistant from my body, which feels really balanced. And on an 8-note instrument, usually I have tone field 1 and 8 lined up as well. So as I ascend the scale, both halves of my body are moving about the same, and I don't have to overreach for one particular side of the instrument, which I find quite nice, and it just feels really balanced to me. So I personally play in first position quite a bit. I really like how the chords feel. There can be a drawback in this position as you try to play tone field 1. You really do have to bring your elbows out to protect your wrists. So I call this position 1, this 2, 3, and so on and so forth. If I place a tone field in front of my belly button, whatever the number of that tone field is what I will refer to as the position. And this is helpful when I'm composing songs to put in my notes, hey, this is in position 8 or whatever the case may be, so I remember how I was looking at the instrument. For instance, if I play 1, 2, 3, 4 in position 1, I'm playing right, left, right, left. But if I'm in position 8 and I play 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm now playing left, right, left, right. And so it does matter how I'm oriented to the instrument. If I'm going to play in between two notes, I just refer to those two notes. So here, 3 and 5. If I'm playing right in between, I would call that position 3, 5. The other most prominent position that you'll see a lot of players play in is position 1, 2. And that's right in between tone field 1 and 2. And this creates a nice balance here with the lower notes so that you never have to come all the way right in front of your belly button to play them, and you have this nice angle here. And still you have a nice balance across the notes depending upon the pan and the architecture. If I had to choose between position 1 and 1, 2, I would say it's really a personal preference. I choose 1, but the benefits are really balanced on both sides. It really just depends what feels natural and comfortable for you, and I would definitely recommend trying both as well. There are circumstances where you're going to find that 1, 2 allows you to do some things that you can't do quite as comfortably in position 1, and vice versa. I personally play in position 1 quite often because I love the way that the notes sound in this position, down low with the thumbs. And up high, I really appreciate using the fingertips. And so this just feels natural with this orientation. Another position you will see now and again is position 8 or 7 or 8-7, something like that. I don't play in this position often because it's a little awkward for me to play with fingertips on these notes, and I don't love the way that it sounds with the thumbs, but again, it's a really personal preference. If I were doing something and I really wanted to showcase some rolls over here, right, then I might choose to do this position. There are lots of other reasons. It's just up to you. I definitely recommend that whatever position you like to play in, you experiment. You can just grab the instrument and give it a spin and see what comes of that position. It will open up a lot of doors for you and help you if you're stuck or just explore some new approaches. So position 8 can be nice because everything flows basically as it did before, just in reverse. And sometimes you might see something like 8-7 for the same reason that we did with 1-2. Now, There are some reasons that you may want to come to the side and approach the instrument from that way. For instance, here's a nice melody that I really like, that I can do alternating hand style if I put it in position, where are we, 3-5, something like that, maybe 3. We'll go 3-5. And so that's a good example of why I might want to come to the side. So another good reason to come to a side position, like position 4, for instance, is it allows you to crawl up the chords in this motion rather than this motion. And generally speaking, it's easier to go like this quickly than like this because it requires the chord to do a lot more bracing. So for instance, you can see I could max out my speed somewhere at like where it's in this position. I can get close, but it requires a lot more effort. And it requires a lot more core strength. I feel a lot more frantic in that position. So that can be another good approach to explore here. The positions you choose on the instrument are very personal. I would just encourage you to try as many as you can. I would say one of my bigger weaknesses is that I probably play in position 1 way too much. So hopefully I'll take some of my own medicine here. For beginning to learn how to play this instrument, I really think it's helpful to start in position 1 or 1-2 and then slowly branch out here and there. But it's really nice to get a really solid sense of where your notes are. I would say the next step would be to be able to ascend the scale quite naturally. Wherever, whatever position you're in, you want to know where your scale is at, right? And that will really help you. So you can practice your scale runs right in any position, and that will really help you. Any pattern that you're doing in one position, practice in another position, and it can just be a really nice exercise to get out of your box and to find some new ways to look at the instrument. Often I have found that new melodies come to me when I approach the instrument from a different direction. Just the same way as when I play with my non-dominant hand. So it can be a really useful tool. If you like this content and you'd like to watch some more, I have some more useful videos I'll post here and here. Thank you so much for sharing your day with me. I really appreciate it. Onward and upward. See you in the next video. Hello!